Do you guys like horror stories? Boom! What is up, you guys? I'm Charmx, and today we're going to be looking at 2-sentence horror stories. Now, I'm not really sure what to expect from this, but just the title, 2-sentence horror stories, I mean, that sounds very interesting, so hopefully this is going to be very spooky. But with that being said, if you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and let's begin! Alright, so the first horror story says, I was having a pleasant dream when what sounded like hammering woke me. After that, I could barely hear the muffled sounds of dirt covering the coffin over my own screams. Oh, that's some creepy shit right there. Alright, so basically some guy was sleeping and he woke up inside of a coffin that was being buried. That's pretty creepy. Alright, on to the next one. I woke up to hear knocking on glass. At first, I thought it was the wind until I heard it come from the mirror again. Oh, wow, no. That's worse. That's much worse than the first one. So someone's like standing at a mirror and they thought they heard some knocking on glass, but the knocking's coming from the mirror. Oh, that's some horror movie shit right there. Alright, next one. I can't move, breathe, speak, or hear, and it's so dark all the time. If I knew it would be this lonely, I would have been cremated instead. Oh! Yeah, I mean, when I die, I prefer to be cremated just because, one, it's cheaper. I believe it's cheaper than actually getting, like, a burial because you don't need land. I mean, you just get put in a furnace, essentially, so you don't need to, like, buy land or something, so it's cheaper on the family. And, also, I don't want to be eaten by worms. Alright, next one. There was a picture in my phone of me sleeping. I live alone. Boo! That is some quite creepy shit. Alright, my wife woke me up last night to tell me there was an intruder in our house. She was murdered by an intruder 2 years ago. Oh, you gotta move out of that house because there's a ghost inside. It was your wife who died. Alright, the last thing I saw was my alarm clock flashing 12:07 before she pushed her long, rotting nails through my chest. What? Is this some kinky dominatrix shit? Her other hand muffling my screams. I sat bolt upright, relieved it was only a dream. But as I saw my alarm clock read 12:06, I heard my closet door creaking open. Well, you have a minute before shit goes down, so if I were you, I'd book it. Get the fuck out of that house! She went upstairs to check on her sleeping toddler. The window was open, and the bed was empty. I've seen that in horror movies. That was not that much of a twist. I can't sleep, she whispered, crawling into bed with me. I woke up cold, clutching the dress she was buried in. Oh, what the fuck? These are actually really quite, like, creepy. Some of them don't make sense, but for the most part, they're all quite creepy. I began tucking him into bed, and he tells me, Daddy, check for monsters under my bed. I look underneath for his amusement and see another him, under the bed, staring back at me, quivering and whispering, Daddy, there's something on my bed. Oh, that's creepy too. I bet he didn't know he had twins. After working a hard day, I came home to see my girlfriend cradling our child. I didn't know which was more frightening, seeing my dead girlfriend and stillborn child, or knowing that someone broke into my apartment to place them there. Oh, so they were dead, and someone broke in and, like, placed them in a position of the dead girlfriend, like, cradling the child. That's fucked up. That's really fucked up. Anyway, you get home tired after a long day's work and ready for a relaxing night alone. You reach for the light switch, but another hand is already there. Oh! Oh my goodness, that sends shivers down my spine. That would be... Imagine that! I want to move out of my parents' house so bad, but I don't want weird shit to happen. Imagine you come home from a long day's work, and you know, the house is pitch black. You go to turn on your light, and there's already a hand there. That would fucking burn down that building. Fucking burn it down! I always thought my cat had a staring problem. She always seemed fixated on my face, until one day, when I realized that she was always looking just behind me. Don't say that shit. Now I don't want to get a cat, because what if it does the same thing? What if it does the same thing? My daughter won't stop crying and screaming in the middle of the night. I visit her grave and ask her to stop, but it doesn't help. Okay, that one's kind of funny because one, it implies that this person either buried her daughter alive or that her daughter is like a zombie or something. So that one's not that bad. Alright, she asked why I was breathing so heavily. I wasn't. Maybe she has like a hearing problem and her ears are really sensitive. Anyway, I awoke to the sound of the baby monitor crackling with a voice comforting my firstborn child. As I adjusted to a new position, my arm brushed against my wife, sleeping next to me. There's nothing like laughter of a baby, unless it's 1 AM and you're home alone. Well, that's not laughter from a baby.
That's a demon!
A girl heard her mother yell her name from downstairs, so she got up and started to head down. As she got to the stairs, her mom pulled her into her room and said, I heard that too. Oh, I freaking hate horror things. I mean, I got like goosebumps going on from this. Growing up with cats and dogs, I got used to the sounds of scratching at my door while I slept. Now that I live alone, it's much more unsettling. Okay, that's pretty creepy. Alright, we got one left. We got one left. In all the time that I've lived alone in this house, I swear to God, I've closed more doors than I've opened. That's kind of creepy, but I mean, there were a lot worse in this. There were a lot worse in this. But anyway, I hope you guys liked this video. This was actually really creepy. I mean, the title does not sound that creepy. It says, what, 2-sentence horror stories. Like, how bad could it be? Surprisingly, a lot worse than I expected. But anyway, if you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, possibly share it with a friend. If you're new, subscribe and join the family today, and I'll see you guys next time. Woo!